Hello, all 25 of you beautiful minds. I remember one of my videos that said beautiful souls, but I don't believe in souls. So I like to say beautiful minds. Yeah. Yeah, I use a lot of religious language for some reason. But I don't really mean it like in a literal sense. It's just like, like figures of speech and expression and things like that. That's how much of an effect religion has on our culture. It affects the language that we speak. I wanted to talk about something pretty interesting today. So I'm going to pull something up. Yeah. So you can kind of just follow me a little bit. But I wanted to talk about consciousness and the philosophy of mind. Kind of like where our most profound philosophical questions come from, or philosophical angst comes from. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. With the French Algerian writer and essayist and novelist and Albert Camus posed that the most profound philosophical question that a man or a woman could ask themselves, and I say that I should include the days in there, obviously. Basically, the question is whether or not, then this isn't funny because I think I have a right to laugh about this because for reasons, but yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Is whether someone should commit suicide or not. And I think what he was trying to say, what he was trying to talk about with his subset of nihilism, which is referred to as absurdism, is that we live in a brutal, meaningless, godless cosmos where if one is slapped in the face with the absurd, it can, or hits them in the face, or they're confronted with it. It could be on the corner of a street. It could be at the top of a skyscraper. It can be in the forest. It can be in the trenches of warfare. It can be being, when you're in a horrific car accident, or where or you're staring down the barrel of a gun. You realize the absurdity of it all. It's just kind of like a big joke, in a sense. Existence, to breathe, to live, to fuel the mind with oxygen. It's just a joke. It's just, you have to look at it like with a sense of humor to keep yourself sane. But the point I wanted to get to was, you have two choices. Do you commit suicide because it's all meaningless and the universe is going to end, and it's the entropic heat death is going to happen and occur, and trillions of years from now and the universe is going to end? What's the point, right? But that's not how us mammals work, us Homo sapiens. Basically, we have to rationalize everything we do. And if you decide to tie that noose around your neck and kick the chair from under your legs, you have to, in that moment, you have to think of reasons to go through with it. You can't just do it. That's just how it works. You have to justify what you're doing before God and everybody. No, but seriously, you have to justify why you would do it or why you should do it. And the reasons may be as simple as like I just got made redundant on my job, I just got fired, my girlfriend broke up with me, my wife divorced me, dog died. I'd seen some shit when I went to war. I was never the same. What are some reasons people commit suicide? I don't know. I'm starving to death, and I don't have any of the wherewithal or resources to support myself. I don't know. Very rarely, life sucks basically. So then you take the chair from beneath your legs, then you're dead. But then there's an other side of the coin. You could rationalize to yourself reasons to keep living. That could be positive things like, oh, I have a goal. I want to be famous. I want to become a writer. I want to become a musician. I want to do something important like create vaccinations, or I want to study. I want to build AI, artificial intelligence. I want to travel the world. I want to fall in love. I want to start a family. I want to stop this world from crumbling. You could do that. And then you don't. You take the noose away from your neck, and then you get off the chair and get down back to the ground, and you just go about your day. And he actually beautifully illustrated this with an essay called "The Myth of Sisyphus," who I'm sure most people are aware of. Like that, yeah. I don't feel like I'm talking about anything obscure. It's pretty famous. And he takes the story of the Argive king of Sisyphus, where this king was damned to totters for all of eternity to roll a boulder up a hill. And once he rolls a boulder up the hill, this steep hill, it rolls all the way down, and that's what he keeps doing over and over again. It's pretty pointless, right? And unpleasant, because physical activity is unpleasant. It stresses the sinews of the muscles, and your bones ache, and you're just physically exhausted and spiritually dying. I don't mean spiritually dying in, a literal sense, like your soul is dying, but in the literal, in the linguistic sense of the word. The Latin for spiritual is spiritus, which means breath. That's all it means. You're running out of breath to fuel your mind, your consciousness. Camus tells us to do one thing. He tells us to imagine Sisyphus happy as he rolls the boulder up the hill. I mean, it's a very simple concept, right? You must be an optimistic nihilist, in a sense. Everyone envisions nihilists as brooding and depressive and sullen and negative in general, but they're not. Most of them are. Because I would figure this is one of the most influential essays I've ever read in my life. So we must imagine Sisyphus happy. We must use the power of the mind to create or illustrate our own reality, and not in a manifestation way. Not like thinking, oh, well, if I think hard enough, then good things will happen to me. No, that's not how it works. You should take life and you see as it like an opportunity to do what you want. We're on the speck of ducks only once, and it can be quite the exciting adventure if you wanted to. It can be. What choice are you going to make, huh? I felt like I didn't leave the video on too much of a high note, but I will say this before I go. It is futile to despair in the midst of a storm, for the sun and the stars always